Welcome to this video, and here we are going to do the branches of physics. Well, physics is an extensive science which has so many topics that we need to divide them so that we can be able to really understand each one of them. Now, physics may be divided into so many units and subunits. In this video, we are going to divide it into the most or the main topics. Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 branches that we are going to discuss. Although we have more, if you really want to do advanced physics, we have more we have more branches, and therefore for now we can define the few that we have here. Now we have the first one that is commonly known in physics, and that has to do with mechanics. Now mechanics has been applied in so many ways in physics. Remember, mechanics has commonly been defined as the motion of bodies. So if you have a body that is moving under the influence of force, then you are talking about mechanics. And since we have discussed already about the basic units, the basic units that are prominent in this topic mechanics are the length, represented by meters, seconds, that is time, represented by seconds, and mass, represented by kg. Those three or the MKS system is mostly used in mechanics. Now here we apply the MKS so much, and therefore mechanics has to do with the motion of bodies which is influenced by force. So if you have a force subjected to a given body, what is it going to happen? Or is it going to stop? Maybe. If it was moving, is it going to deform? Or is it going to continue moving or accelerating? So we are going to define, or we are going to find the dynamics of how force affects the motion of a given body. Now the MKS system is prominent, as we have said. The M means meters, or to represent the length. K means kg, to represent the mass, and S means or represents seconds, which is also time. And therefore most of the basic units we are going to discuss are going to deal with the MKS system. Now the second branch of physics, we are going to talk about electricity and magnetism. Well, we are going to discuss how electric fields can be affected by the magnetic field, where we could have a magnetic field that is moving across an electric field. So what happens? Are we going to have a motion? Are we going to have what are we going to really see when the two interact? And therefore we're going to learn more about how electric fields are affected by the magnetic field of a given system. Now, the most common basic units that we are going to see here are what we call the ampere or amps. So ampere is going to be really common in this topic, and so many others. We could have other units. Also, we could talk about how temperature affects the magnetism here, or how temperature affects electric current. We're going to discuss how heat can affect the magnetism, and therefore we could also find other units. Well, the next topic that we're going to discuss here is waves. Now waves has to deal with something to do with propagation of energy. That energy could be coming from a point to another. So if energy is coming from one point to another through a given medium, then you're talking about a wave. So a wave generally transmits energy from one point that has been disturbed to another. We are going to have an extensive discussion on waves. We have types of waves, how they can transmit energy, in which manner. Here we are going to also discuss about the trigonometric waves, how they behave. And of course we can also talk about the electromagnetic waves, those that are used medium or those that do not have a medium, and therefore we're going to explain how they are applied in real life situations. Because when you talk about waves, then you're talking about how this energy is transmitted to long distances across the vacuum or air. Now, the most prominent units that we are going to see in waves are also meters or length, because we're going to talk about wavelengths. We could also talk about time, the period in which a wave transmits from one point to another. So you notice again, we're going to talk about a little bit about the MKS system. Now, again, we're going to talk about thermodynamics. Now, thermodynamics has to deal with the dynamics of temperature or heat. Now, how does heat affect, or how do we increase heat, or when we increase heat or decrease heat, what happens to an object? Now, when you increase temperature from, say, 0 degrees Celsius to 50 degrees Celsius, and you want to really learn how fast? Did that heat reduce or increase? So all those dynamics of heat are going to be discussed in thermodynamics temperature. Now here we are going to discuss about also the gas laws. Now the gas laws, most of the gas laws are dependent on temperature. For example, Boyle's law, Charles' law, pressure law, all those we are going to discuss how they are affected by this temperature. Therefore, thermodynamics is a wide topic that we are going to really discuss in our preceding videos. Now also we have atomic physics. Now atomic physics has to deal with radioactivity. Now, in radioactivity, we have those atoms that either can be induced to produce energy. Now, this energy can be applied in so many ways. For example, we have what we call nuclear physics. Nuclear physics can be found in atomic physics because we're going to learn about the contents of a nucleus and how it can produce energy when triggered to. So it can either produce a lot of energy, which is hazardous to human life and so on. So we're going to discuss about decay of or carbon dating. All those are the applications of the atomic physics, which we are going to discuss in our preceding videos. Now also we can talk about optics. Now optics has to deal with the dynamics of light. How does light travel in a given medium? How does light behave when it goes through various media? Now here we are going to discuss about geometric optics. We are going to discuss how this light goes through various media. For example, if you have a lens, how is light going to behave in that lens? Now we have various types of lenses. How is light going to behave in those lenses? When you talk about light traveling across a mirror, or across a curved mirror, or across a glass block, or across water, what will happen to that water? And therefore we're going to have to discuss a lot about light and their applications. Therefore, please follow our preceding videos to be able to understand how this light is going to traverse from one medium to another. So those are the branches of physics that we are going to discuss in our preceding videos. Please stay tuned for you to be able to understand more about physics. Please remember to share this video, like, and also subscribe.